Outthought, outfoxed and outcold, Arsenal arrived in Manchester clinging to hope of a Premier League title, but that was left shattered in paces by Manchester City. Master teaching apprentice a cruel lesson in winning what it takes. Pep Guardiola against former assistant Mikel Arteta, who he taught to play in such a way that led Arsenal unexpectedly to the summit of the Premier League table this season. Then, in a once decisive game, taught him everything he needs to know about playing against it. It had the feel of a huge night, the smell and the taste of one. A giant banner declaring somewhat honestly, "I'll follow you everywhere," well draped across two tiers and stretched across the entirety of the East Stand a couple of minutes before games. Ted Lasso was in attendance. Only one seemed to have told Arsenal, and Manchester City played like they have been trolling everyone all season, as though they had only been putting 70% of effort in for 8 months and now decided to ramp it up and romp home. Arsenal looked spent. They had looked this way for weeks now, and it's starting to fret the edges and unravel. Erling Haaland and Kevin De Bruyne's partnership is incredible, up there with Henry and Bergkamp, York and Cole, etc., etc. They fed off each other's energy and hunger and desire not only to win the Premier League this season, but to wipe away Arsenal off the face of the earth so they don't have the temerity to try again. Arsenal's defenders seem scared of Haaland, like he might accidentally rip an arm socket if they became involved in the tussle, or that they could crap a rig inadvertently if they walked into him while watching the ball. While the giant striker closed his eyes and roared, when several efforts was saved by Ramsdale, it's possible the ground shook as far away as London. The early goal was vital. City sucked Arsenal's players towards their goal in a vortex with defensive passes between Diaz, Ederson and Stones, then exploded up the pitch. Stones went long. Haaland somewhat ironically held off Holding too easy on the halfway line. A father playing playfully, keeping his young son at bay in the garden. The Norwegian controlled the ball, clipped it into Doran's pass, and the midfielder had to take on, but drove right into the bottom right corner of the goal from the outside, and it's agonisingly impossible for Ramsdale to reach. 7 minutes into the heavyweight title fight of the season, Arsenal were plucky contenders again, and the undefeated giant were on the canvas, head groggy, vision trembling, wondering how on earth they were expected to get through another 83 minutes alive. The second wasn't trademark Pep either, not the sort of move he would have Arteta work on over and over again with the players on the training ground. A deep De Bruyne free kick, headed in by Stage, originally ruled out but reinstated by VAR. For a team known for their interminable passing, they had stunned Arsenal with direct move. The third and fourth were forced through sheer panic. Odegaard, one of the players of the season, gave the ball away on the halfway line, a mistake he barely made all season. De Bruyne and Haaland then combined again, and the Belgian finished the move by running the ball in. Arsenal gave the ball away for Haaland to add the goal he deserved in the stoppage time. Has there ever been such a one-sided game with so much on it? Diaz had more touch in that half than Arsenal's entire midfield. Even Holding's late goal made it pointless. So it's impossible for Man City to lose. Now 2 points behind Arsenal with 2 games in hand. Should they win all the remaining matches, they're on course for a second ever 100-point total, which is just incredible. Following 2017-18, the most soul-destroying thing for Arsenal is they look like they could do it. 7 league games, including virtual walkovers against Chelsea and Everton, but trickier fixtures against Brighton and Brentford. An FA Cup final, 2-legged Champions League semi-final may all prove overwhelming for Man City, but Arsenal 3 draws and a defeat in 4 look as though they would struggle for top 4 if they were not quite so far in front. They probably now got, about 10% high of winning the league, and even that feels generous. And while the gloom clears, there should be perspective. Last season, disintegrated for Arsenal with the Champions League when it looked like they had it at their mercy, and substantial changes need to be made. They arrived at the destination quicker than anyone expected to, playing with intelligence, endeavour and heart. Players that had been written off last season like Xhaka got better, but it required every cog in the engine to continue to pump at its maximum to maintain the challenge. That was always unrealistic. The drop in level from the Miss Williams lead to the unfortunate Holding has proved substantial, and the consequences at the Etihad proved catastrophic. The Guardiola was able to replace the injured Ake with Walker, one of the Premier League's best defenders of the generation, wasn't lost on anyone. Arteta needs faith and funds if Arsenal are to go again. There are at least 3 elite additions and an infusion of belief that if they're going to overhaul this generational City side, but they are making their progress. No one was celebrating the win, but Brighton's defeat at Forest means they're assured of the top 4 place. Back in August, that would have felt like celebrating. But anyway, guys, that's it really. Thanks so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, for daily football news and scores results can be greatly appreciated. Thanks so much for watching. Peace.